Hello, welcome to Let's Go Abroad. Many thanks to my returning subscribers. Thank you for keeping it here. Thank you for the encouragement. If this is your first time to watch our videos, kindly consider liking, kindly consider subscribing, and giving us some of your feedback. We do appreciate the feedback that you were given after last week, and we are working on creating videos about the inquiries that you asked and the things that you wanted us to cover here. Okay, so today we are going to look at Switzerland. Swiss. I'm doing this video of Switzerland because it was inspired by a client's experience. So she had a budget of 1 million shillings for a master's degree, and she wanted to study in UK. So her sponsor, who is her father, could not afford anything more than 1 million, but she had someone else who could give her supporting documents for proof of funds. But this person was not willing to chip in for her education, but she had her dad who could sponsor her education. So as we were going through the options of what she could do in UK, because that was her biggest desire, gave her the idea of Switzerland, and we discovered with 1 million shillings, UK would not have been the best destination for her because of the funds, but Switzerland could easily fit into that budgetary allocation and fit into her family dynamics and financial status. Okay, so why would I vouch for Switzerland? Maybe just some few tips about Switzerland. It is a country that is located centrally in Europe. It is in the Schengen zone. It is bordered by Germany, it's bordered by French, it is also bordered by Italy. There are 4 main languages of communication in Switzerland. Most of the towns or cities, they're going to talk in German. The communication is going to be in Italian and some in French. But we do have people, and English is widely used as a language of communication in the area. So many universities teach in French. So many universities teach in German, but we have universities that teach in English, and the universities that I'm going to cover in a subsequent video will be universities whose language of instruction is English. Okay. Now, in terms of political segmentation, Switzerland is divided into cantons. There are about 26 cantons, and each canton is a self-governing political entity with their own constitution, with their own laws. You notice another unique thing about Switzerland is that they do not have a minimum wage. There is no minimum wage like we see in other countries, but now each canton sets its own minimum wage. Like Geneva is a canton, and their minimum wage is 25 Swiss francs per hour. So you'll discover that also the other cantons have got their own minimum wage, although most of the times they are close or similar to one another. Okay, the major cities in Switzerland are Zurich, and this one is a German-speaking hub. We do have Geneva. Hello, we know Geneva with UN, and Geneva is a French-speaking hub. And then we have Lausanne. Is that the pronunciation? We're also going to see it because there's a university there. It's called actually the University Hub. You're going to see the universities there that you can use, that you can go to, and you earn your degree. Okay. So what happens when you go to Switzerland as a student? You will be given the Type D visa. This is the Type D visa that is given to anyone who is going to the Schengen area as a student. When you're done with your studies, maybe you went for a bachelor's degree, so you're done within 3 years, or you went for a master's degree, so you're done within 1 year or 2 years for some, you will be allowed to stay for 6 months as you look for a job. If within the 6 months you've not found a job, you're going to apply for a visa. They call this the job seeker visa. Okay, and the job seeker visa, you qualify for it 6 months after your graduation, and then it is for up to 6 months. So you have a 1 year period to stay in Switzerland after you're done with your studies. Now, within that 1 year, you have found a job where you're working permanently. That means at least 30 hours per month, at least a minimum of 30 hours per month. You're going to apply for a Type B permit. A Type B permit is a long-term visa. and it is what they call a long-term work visa, and it also qualifies you for the resident permit, and this visa is valid for 5 years. Okay, after 5 years, then you'll apply for what they call a type C permit. A type C permit is a permanent resident permit, and you're able to work for a long time in Switzerland without many or any restrictions. And then after you've stayed in Switzerland for 12 years, you can apply for citizenship. And to apply for citizenship, there are many things that you need to qualify. You should not have been involved in any any crime records. You need referrals, but this comes after 12 years. Okay, so now that is the path to immigration if you decide to go to Switzerland as a student. Yeah? So what are some of the reasons that you need to go there as a student? As I have mentioned, well, we all know Switzerland is a very expensive place to be. Is it the most expensive country in Europe? If not, then it must be in the top 3. It's a very expensive place to be. But the tuition fee is very low. And the tuition fee is low because the government does subsidize education. So the Ministry of Education has a budgetary allocation to subsidize for education. Number 2, there are many public universities that will charge the same fee as citizens and international students. Most of the public universities. Private universities are a bit different, they charge differently, but public universities, there are some that charge the same tuition fee for locals and international students. Okay, so tuition fee is one of the key things that you need to consider, and you check the videos that I will do about the tuition fee in Switzerland. You'll discover that it is quite affordable if you are on a tight budget. What may be a challenge is the proof of funds, but the Swiss government allows you to get support from so many people. So the money doesn't have to be specifically in your bank account, but you can get a support from a friend, especially one who is already in Switzerland, for proof of funds. Okay. The other thing is the security. Yeah? Switzerland is a very safe country to be. It is not uncommon to see politicians and government officials go without bodyguards or aides, and they just hop into a train and go into around their own business. Huh? It's common. It's a common thing to see. Huh? So what I'm saying is that it's not a country where someone will just shoot you because you're black. It's not a country where just someone will shoot you anyhowly. And they normally say that even for the crime rates that are reported, they're usually also quite low. Okay, so there's a security, there's a low tuition fee, and then there is the rate of visa approval. Switzerland has got a higher rate of visa approval compared to other countries in Europe. Okay, so you can imagine someone who is being heartbroken just because they didn't go to UK or to another Canada or US because their visa was rejected. It is usually not good to kill your dreams of going abroad. So if you apply for a visa to study in UK, what I tell my students is, and they reject, then we do a reapplication and they reject again. What you do is that you go study in a country that we call a stepping stone. So if UK is your final destination, it will be easier for you to get a job in UK if you study in Switzerland than if you study in Kenya. So a smart move would be, instead of shattering your dreams, and you know Switzerland has got a very high rate of visa approval, and it is also very cheaper, you go study in Switzerland, and then moving from Switzerland to UK to Canada to US will be easier. Okay, so the rate of visa approval is high. It's high than other countries. Yeah, and then we've also spoken about its location. It's centrally located in Central Europe. So if you want to visit other Schengen countries, Austria, France, Italy, Germany, which are her neighbors, it will be quite easy for you. Okay, and then the possibility to earn money. You are given 15 hours to work when you are a student, and during the long holidays you are given 8 hours to work per day. So when I did the conversion, and when you work 15 hours per week, like using Geneva, which was minimum wage is 25 Swiss francs, using the current conversion rate, it's like 60k per week. which translates to 240 Kenya shillings for those who are Kenyans. So you are able to earn an income even as you work, and then after you finish your studies, your earning ability goes higher. Okay, and then now there is a possibility of bringing your spouse when you have a type C visa. Remember, we said you get a job seeker visa, then you get a B permit, and then you get a C permit. So if you hold a C permit, you can bring in your family to live with you in Switzerland. Yeah? However, there are exceptions. If you're a doctorate student or you're a postdoctorate student, you do not have to wait for type C permit. You can bring in your family when you have a type B permit. Okay, and then the possibility to work after graduation and to settle down in the community. Yeah, so those are the main reasons why I would encourage you to consider Switzerland either as a stepping stone if you have got visa rejections for UK or your other preferred destination, and it can also be your first thing to do or to try. Yeah? Show us some love, consider liking the video, consider subscribing to the channel and giving us your feedback down at the comments. Yeah, bye.